swear, I'm very careful.
Hear the alarm calls from a jet out here.
Oh, that drop off is no joke, Tommy.
I hear you.
In August 2022, outdoor boys recorded a 3-day rush across Utah's Mighty 5 national parks, where an ordinary family outing quickly turned into intense encounters with flash floods, towering cliffs, and unsettling history.
That's the beginning of the Narrows, a slot canyon with a river running down the middle. Ooh, the water's brisk. There was a pretty serious flash flood last night, and the river volume was about 4 times what it is right now. See, Tom, where it's ripply, that's where it's gonna be fast and shallow. Where it's calm, it's gonna be deep. Check it out, guys, there's a patch of quicksand here. When you're wading through the water, you'll stub your toes on a lot of rocks, so you gotta have good closed-toed shoes with a lot of cushion. Suck it in. I'm not sure how deep that is, but it's definitely over Tommy's head. Check out that big pile of rocks up there. You can see how deep it gets when it floods. The water was up to here about 1 a.m. last night.
Few things humble a traveler more than the raw, uncontrolled force of rushing water. In the Narrows, Luke guided Tom through muddy, fast-moving flow only hours after a major flash flood. This deliberate choice became a harsh lesson in how quickly a scenic trail can change into a deadly trap with no way out.
We're at the ghost town of Grafton. It's one of the best preserved ghost towns in the state of Utah. They take a big barrel, they fill it full of water, and then they pull it with a sled so they can do their laundry. Check out these mud bricks. This is the church and the schoolhouse, which was built in 1886. Imagine going to school in there.
Whoa.
It says Joseph Berry, born 1843, killed by Indians 1866. The Navajos started raiding here and everyone just left and went to a nearby town for protection. Now some of the local community members have got together and are trying to preserve Grafton. This is just a community trying to preserve history.
Leaving the main trail, they reached the abandoned settlement of Grafton. Beyond the grand arches and rock towers, the desert holds the quiet remains of those who did not survive it. Luke showed Tom a grave marker from 1866 belonging to a settler killed during local conflict. The heavy silence stood as a sobering reminder of the violence hidden beneath Utah's breathtaking scenery.
One thing cool about Canyonlands is they have some amazing 4x4 trails down into the canyon. Oh my goodness, this trail drops right off the side of the canyon wall. Look at that cliff. Oh, that drop off is no joke, Tommy. Oh. Hey Tom, is this scary?
Yes, I'm ready to bail out.
I can get closer if you like.
No!
No. Okay, we'll stay back here. Bad news though, we gotta go back up. That is an amazing drive. That was so cool. Can't believe we just drove down that. This trail system goes on for miles and miles. Just disappears off into the horizon.
The strain peaked at Schaefer Canyon, where Luke drove their 4x4 down a winding road carved into a steep cliff with no guardrails. Inside the vehicle, Tom's fear was clear and unfiltered. It was a very real moment of danger, showing that in Schaefer Canyon there is no room for mistakes. While many admire Luke's hands-on teaching style, others wonder if experience can truly balance such extreme risk. In a landscape shaped by floods and chasms, one question remains: where does learning stop and needless danger begin? On August 2, 2025, the YouTube channel Jenna Alexis recorded a solo overnight hike along the Ribbon Creek Trail in Kananaskis, Alberta. Traveling alone toward alpine lakes and waterfalls, Jenna entered a landscape that required constant attention. Although the path was clear and welcoming, the surroundings carried a hidden danger that demanded caution at every step.
I was with my dog last time. I did not bring my dog this time because I'm heading up past this section that's going up like rock face. And this campsite is not too much farther, but there is quite a bit more elevation. I noticed some clouds and thunder rolling up, which wasn't on the forecast. So I'm trying to get up the steep part and get to the rock face before it might start pouring rain. Okay, this is my view from the side of the cliff, and I'm going up these step thingies across the ledge. Thankfully, it's not too slippery. I thought it was going to be a little bit wet from the drizzle we had, but it's kind of okay. I swear, I'm very careful. It's really just regular scrambling. It just seems riskier because it's so exposed.
Climbing a steep rock face using only fixed chains, Jenna was hundreds of feet above the ground when thunder began to sound. On a vertical wall, any room for mistakes disappears as the sky grows darker. The tension was obvious. On those metal chains, a sudden storm could quickly turn a steady ascent into a fight to stay alive.
Probably hear them buzzing. I'm hiding in my tent from all of the mosquitoes outside. Do you hear that? These bugs are insane. Oh my god, I breathed in a bug. That was so gross. I literally felt it enter my lungs almost. Gross. I just inhaled a bug. Ate a bug by accident, but we're well hydrated now.
In the wilderness, the most disturbing risks are often the smallest. Forced into her tent by swarms of mosquitoes, Jenna accidentally breathed in an insect while filming reacting in visible panic as it entered her airway. This raw moment shows how nature can overwhelm both body and mind in ways no one can fully anticipate.
It's so beautiful here this morning. Like last night it was pretty cloudy and a little bit stormy. And the view this morning is just unreal. It's almost 8 now, and I'm heading back the way that I came. Looking out into the lake. Tell you what, going down is a lot freakier than going up. I'm going back down this steep part, and just like leveraging the weight of my backpack correctly as I'm like down stepping backwards is a little freaky.
Going down a cliff brings a different kind of fear, where gravity and exhaustion work against you. Lowering herself along the chain-secured rock with a heavy pack, Jenna faced a drop that looked far steeper than the climb upward. With no safety support, the footage reveals a hard truth. Even a slight misstep here could change everything. While many viewers praised Jenna's preparation, and the dramatic scenery she captured, the video left others reconsidering their own limits. When the natural world allows no margin for error, the question remains: at what point does the excitement of discovery become unnecessary danger? In July 2023, the channel Ika Acres stepped into this hot, tangled wilderness to look for isolated campsites. In terrain marked by poor visibility and frequent black bear presence, the quiet of the forest felt less like calm and more like a signal.
Well, yesterday, Bridget and I were coming back in her car from going out to dinner with a couple friends of mine. And after we said our goodbyes and left, Bridget and I were coming back on Sawmill Run Road, which is a big state forest. And we encountered a small U-Haul truck that was speeding, caught up to us out of nowhere and was tailgating Bridget's car, passed on a double line, blew around us, and just as we were coming to a dead man's curve, and somehow it made it around the bend, and after we went around the bend, the thing was gone. Once we went around the second bend, there was no sight of the truck because then it was just a straight road going all the way up the mountain, and he wasn't even a mile or two ahead of us. He didn't roll it over. It just disappeared.
After going into the woods, the host recalls a disturbing incident from the day before. While driving rural roads near Broken Straw Forest, a U-Haul followed closely at high speed, then disappeared around a sharp bend with no side roads or tire marks. Thinking about it again, surrounded by thick trees, made the forest seem less empty than it looked.
Wow. Boy, this is thick, you guys. Really, really thick country here. Hey, bear. It's getting a little more thicker up here. We're taking a break. We found a nice rest area right here. Nice fallen tree to sit on. It's pretty buggy in this forest, but it's just so thick with undergrowth and ferns and just all kinds of greenery. Dense forest. And that's where you usually see the bear because they like thick cover. Hey, bear!
As they traveled farther in visibility dropped to only a few meters. Pausing near fallen logs, the host warned that ground this dense provides perfect hiding places for black bears, giving almost no time to react if one is concealed nearby. But the imagined threat of the shadows soon became a chilling reality.
Okay, guys, we ran across a gentleman that just walked out of the woods. I asked him how long this trail is. He said this trail we're on is 18 miles long. That would explain why on all trails it said 1.8. They had a decimal between the 1 and the 8. If you don't have accurate information, how, if you didn't know when to turn around, you could easily get yourself much deeper in a forest than you want to go and get into trouble real quick. And that was the case we encountered today. The information was incorrect. Instead of 1.8, it's 18 miles. So by the time we get back to the car, we're putting in a 6-mile hike. And that's enough on a 90-degree day with high humidity. So anyway, we're just going to keep on hiking, heading back towards the car. We're both very tired. Looking forward to getting back to the car and calling it a day. Well, update you guys. We're taking a pit stop right here, taking a rest. We got under a mile to go. And then we'll be back to the car. But I'm stoked that there is camping up on the forestry road. So I'm looking forward to camping in this forest, doing a night over in it. What the hell is that? Something's growling. Get the dog picked up. There's something as we're making our way back to the car. Something is growling at us. Did you hear that? Not joking, you guys. It is a deep growl. I've got the can in my hand right now. We both stopped and it was just going. That was creepy. I wonder if that was a freaking Sasquatch. We are going to make it in fast time, walking fast, and get back to the car. And I'm going to keep watching behind us. I have never ever heard that in the woods before. Thank God, you guys. We're at the end of the trail.
Less than 2 kilometers from safety, a deep, hostile growl shattered the silence from the brush beside the path. Bear spray was raised, the dog lifted, but nothing came into view. The sound alone made one thing clear: it was time to leave. Viewers are still split on whether the noise came from a known predator or something far more unusual, but the result stays the same. When danger speaks from the darkness, backing away is not just a choice, it is the only way to stay alive. Exploring with Bear, also known as Gerber, often travels alone into forests associated with reports of Bigfoot. On April 10, 2025, he uploads a video based on a viewer's detailed story about a frightening experience in rural Ohio. After recognizing the area, Bear returns there at night unaware that he may not be alone. As he walks deeper into the woods, unusual signs begin to emerge.
Okay, another Bigfoot adventure. Keep your eyes and ears open on this one, guys. I have no idea. I wish I could remember the comment. But one of you guys commented, and you was describing this place of where you had your experience in Ohio. And I knew, I could tell, one of you guys had commented in one of my Bigfoot videos that you had a sighting here in Ohio, and even was describing where it was at, and where I knew exactly where you was talking about. And that is where we are tonight. I tried coming back here on a live with you guys, so I wanted to do another video where we can get some good pictures and explore this place at night, but be able to see better. What was that? That was like a whistle. Didn't that sound like a whistle?
He hears whistling, knocking noises, and light footsteps on gravel. At first, he remains composed, but his body soon reacts. A tingling sensation spreads across his scalp, followed by tightness in his chest. Moving closer to the spot described by the viewer, the sounds grow stronger. Branches crack behind him, and a distant whooping call echoes through the trees.
Someone's just moving back in there. Whoop! I got the goosebumps right now. Like my hair's sort of standing straight up. That's funny. I'm feeling something. The hair on the top of my head feels like it's growing right now. Oh my goodness. That is a crazy feeling. My hair is growing. It feels like, oh, even my face is tingling now. My whole head is freaking like pins and needles. Feels like needles. Look, that tree's been ripped off. Needles.
His camera briefly catches something moving low and quickly between the trunks. Soon, after, a pair of glowing eyes appears. They do not resemble typical animal reflections, staying large and fixed, positioned too high to match known wildlife. The eyes disappear, then return moments later, now standing upright.
Man, I'm getting sicker and sicker in my belly too. Why? This is insane feeling. It's very hard for me to keep moving forward right now. I hope you guys know that. Like, I really don't want to. Oh. Hello? Hello? I hear you. What is that? Oh, look how that limb's been ripped off. Like twisted off up there. Look at that. That has been twisted off. Up high. What is that noise? Oh my goodness, man. I just heard something walking on the gravel and I'm not seeing nothing. That might even have came up on camera. There it is.
Whatever was hidden before now seems tall and dominant. Bear freezes, careful not to disturb whatever is watching him. The shape forms a clear outline with a head and shoulders. When he tries to zoom in, the camera cannot focus. He remains motionless as the figure slowly lowers itself and fades back into the forest.
Oh my goodness. Okay, what? Oh. Whoa. Whoa. And it disappeared. Did you guys see that? That was a dark shadow in the middle of the beam of light. I don't know how it looked on camera. I was looking with my plain eyes. And it started coming my way. It was like a circle. And then just vanished. Something dark. No. Man. Oh my goodness.
He then walks toward a nearby bridge that crosses the same area. This is where the viewer previously claimed to have seen Bigfoot, either from the bridge or while fishing along the bank. At the center of the bridge, his flashlight reveals a large, dark mass partly hidden among the trees. It vanishes almost at once.
With Bigfoot, my boy, my blood pressure's freaking sky high right now. Like, I feel everything in my body sort of getting elevated as I'm getting down here. I don't like being on this thing, really. At the moment, I don't know why. There's a big drop on this side.
Moments later, he hears splashing in the stream below and movement close behind him. Still standing on the bridge, another shadow briefly enters his flashlight beam before disappearing again. Deciding not to follow it, Bear leaves the bridge, passes the original sighting spot, and heads back toward his truck. As he retreats, footsteps and movement continue to trail him, though nothing becomes clearly visible. Supporters point to familiar Bigfoot indicators: heavy steps, unseen motion, and stalking behavior, while others argue that darkness and fear can make ordinary sounds seem dangerous. Was this wildlife-human activity, or something acting in a way often associated with Bigfoot encounters? The person behind Black Mass Paranormal posts a video on June 14, 2024, recording a solo trip into the Appalachian backcountry. What starts as a routine investigation soon turns from uneasy to truly terrifying, developing into a series of strange and unsettling moments.
Oh my God, Brian, stop opening your first aid kit. Jeez. Please stand. Okay. There's a whole bunch of... Holy shit. That's a fucking footprint. Like a human footprint. I mean, there's no doubt that's a human footprint. Where a human footprint should not fucking be.
While walking along an isolated trail, he spots something unusual: a footprint pressed into the wet ground. At first, it seems harmless. Then he notices it is barefoot. In this section of the forest, no one should be traveling without proper footwear or gear.
I've got movement over here. Holy fuck. Oh my God. Jesus Christ, I'm gonna die. Oh my God, I'm gonna die. I'm gonna die. Shut the fuck up, shut the fuck up. Son of a bitch. Yeah. What the fuck now? That sound. Gee. Please let me get home. Please let me get home. Oh my God. Fucking. Oh my God. Damn buckle fell off. Come on. You know, at this point, like, I don't really, my gimbal's not working at all. I started getting more lightning strikes. Let's see exactly where it's at now. You know, we are at 31 strikes. What causes that? You know, I don't know.
Shortly after movement, rustles in the nearby brush. Without warning, a deep, harsh scream, closer to a roar, rips through the quiet. The sound rattles him, and he decides to gather his equipment and leave at once.
Pretty scary day. You know, there's nests. I swear I just saw something like looking at me behind the tree back there.
In that moment, he wonders if the noise was a deliberate scare tactic, or if he had wandered into an area tied to old stories of feral people, a rumor that has circulated in the region for years. Either explanation feels like a signal meant to push him out. As he makes his way out, he glances back and notices a shape partly hidden behind a tree, seeming to watch him go. It might have been someone making sure he left, or something far harder to account for. Remote forests can conceal both humans and animals, and fear can distort every sound and silhouette. Was this an uncommon human encounter, a strange animal reaction, or something unexplained using the woods for cover? Endless Venture is recognized for pushing far beyond familiar paths into regions few people ever visit. In a video posted on July 26, 2025, Casey, his friend Riley, and their guide Deepak bring a full crew into Nepal's remote Babai River Valley. This is genuine tiger country, unpredictable, and home to rare predators. Their trip starts in crowded Kathmandu, crosses the Himalayas by small aircraft, and finishes after long, rough drives through the lowland jungle near Bardia National Park, where the wilderness already feels watchful. Most safari tours remain close to the park's boundaries, but this group goes much farther. They travel deep into more than 370 square miles of wilderness that few outsiders ever enter.
Right on the edge of the Babai River, so we're going to camp for the next few nights. Gonna do the campsite up, get all the gear out of here, and then send the truck and two guys home.
The team sets up camp just before sunset along the riverbank. Once the vehicle departs, only tents, firewood, and jungle sounds remain. Deepak, an experienced tracker and wildlife photographer, will guide them over the next days. For now, the priority is simple: stay aware as night falls. As darkness spreads, they gather by the fire. This is not a secure campsite. Elephants, rhinos, and tigers pass through the area, and thin fabric walls provide almost no protection. They withdraw to their tents for the night, getting ready for a morning search for tigers.
First thing, elephants hate the smell of kerosene. But if they do come in camp, not only will they be deterred by the scent.
At this point, we're all unaware that we're going to have an unexpected visitor in camp tonight. Stay tuned to see who comes sneaking around camp. This is Dookie Ram. His role on our crew is the night watchman. He will stay awake and be on watch. It's time to settle in our tents for the night and get some sleep, and go out in search of tigers in the morning.
Two of them. Hear that? That's tigers calling to each other.
Hear the alarm calls from a gentle deer. They're coming from back there.
Alarm calls. Again, something's out there.
One crew member remains on watch, keeping the fire burning. Even so, none of them expect what follows. The night grows tense. Every noise seems amplified. Rest is shallow, as distant tiger calls carry through the trees, followed by sharp deer alarm sounds. Something large moves just outside the camp.
This one? Yeah. This one, return. Let's
Back and forth.
Fresh tiger tracks around camp.
Walked back and forth.
So tiger came into camp last night, saw the camp, turned around, and then walked back out that way. We heard some chital deer calls over in this direction too. It's crazy to think that last night, while everybody was sleeping in camp, and our night guard was probably right there by that fire, just there in the tall grass, a tiger walked up, looked at our camp, probably watched the night watchman walk around or stand by the fire, and then just snuck off.
By morning, fresh tiger tracks form a circle around the tents. The animal had approached, observed, and slipped away without sound, a reminder that they are only guests here. At first light, Casey, Riley, and Deepak follow the trail through the mud, some prints still new. Their own footsteps intersect with those of a tiger. Soon, a huge male tiger steps out from brush near the riverbed, standing calmly in clear view. With Bengal tigers so rare, the encounter is both extraordinary and unforgettable. The Babai Valley challenges their awareness, courage, and respect for nature, showing that real strength moves silently and unseen. Predators like tigers often observe before acting, and the tracks suggest cautious evaluation rather than hostility. It was likely a territorial check, and they were fortunate it chose to move on because a different response could have ended very differently.
That's it for tonight. Which moment creeped you out the most? Drop it in the comments. Have your own story? Share it with us, and stay tuned. The next one is even darker.